Good morning, Tarkov. How we doing, guys? We're gonna be talking rogues today, so let's get to it. I spent, I don't know, think a solid 14 to 16 hours just running offline raids on multiple different difficulties and just trying to learn as much as I possibly can about the rogues. So let's get to it. All right. So, for those that don't know, the rogues are the new NPC that are at the lighthouse location, more specifically the water treatment plant, and we're going to get into a little bit of details with that. Not the most details, because we're actually going to do a video today. I'm not sure exactly how I want to title it. I think it's going to be, maybe it's everything rogues, because it is kind of, yeah, it's probably going to be something along the lines of just, you know, just in general, everything rogues. And it's going to go into a lot of detail because I've pretty much figured out what there is to figure out with them, unless there is some little intricate things that might happen when you kill all of them, because I haven't been in a raid when you kill all of them, but there isn't necessarily anything that happens like that for any of the other mobs, so I wouldn't imagine there's something that happens with this one. What I would be talking about is, like, if there was something that would happen where if you killed all of them, some kind of event would happen or something like that. Like I don't think something like that would happen. But generally speaking, I was not in a raid when all of them were dead. So if there was something to happen, if all of them were dead, then I wouldn't know. But that's literally the only thing that I haven't seen. Otherwise, I know all their loot, I know all their spawns, which is actually a very regular spawn. And, just in general, they are insane. They are just generally just super fucking insane. I think BSG nerfed them a little bit last night, because I did sort of in real time realize it's just like, oh, they're actually missing shots, because they wouldn't. They would not miss shots before. So I'll show a quick clip here. I posted this on Twitter, and we'll pull this up real quick. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, here's a super quick example. Here's a super quick example here of what I'm talking about with that. Yeah, man. Pull this up real quick. So here's a super quick example. That was literally the second bullet that came out of that heavy machine gun hit me in the face. The second bullet. And then here we go, just peeking. And I'm dead. The first or second bullet, probably the first with that one. And then that one, I was prone, and no shots. I had no idea where they were yet, and then headshot, and then another one there, headshot. First bullet out of that heavy machine gun, headshot, and then same thing with this one. This one, if I had known at the time, I would have been less surprised, but there was actually a machine gun right in front of me for that clip. And then again, this is literally a heavy machine gun for this clip across the entire water treatment plant. First bullet, headshot, you're gone. And then another thing with this one, super far away, I have no idea where they are. First bullet headshot with that one. And then with this one, first bullet headshot. I've barely shown any of my head, and I'm like behind a tree a bit. And then this one, they're a bit closer with this one, but still, it's like first or second bullet out of those machine guns, and you're dead. First, like, headshot, head eyes, you're gone. With a heavy machine gun. So, yeah, they ended up, actually, I can't confirm this, but I do believe they ended up nerfing these guys, because as I was testing them, I realized they were actually starting to miss shots, which would not happen before. They still move around like Killa, and they're still insanely difficult to kill. But I think I figured out a good way to get through them, basically. And we'll give a quick breakdown, and then I'm gonna go in full details of the video, of course. So I hope you guys check out the video later today, because I'm gonna get that edited together. But we'll grab this real quick, just so I can explain some stuff for people that are here for the live stream. And by the way, great work on this map. Some people from the community made this map. This was Velkin and a few other people in the Discord made this map that you guys are about to see, and it's insane. So we'll swipe this over. So this is the water treatment plant, approximately the water treatment. And it's absolutely insane. They spent all day yesterday working on this. This is the whole map in general here. And they're getting, like, the hidden stashes and the loot places and all that stuff, loot spots and, like, what spawns where and stuff. It is nuts. So generally speaking, this is like, I guess these must be cover. These might be cover items. The map's not finished yet, but this is the water treatment plant that we got right here. There's a large building right here. There is a large building right here, and there is a large building right here, and then there's also a checkpoint right here. These mounted weapons are going to be your biggest threat. So in this building, there is a heavy machine gun that's facing this direction, and then there's also on the roof here, on the roof specifically, there's a mounted machine gun facing this direction, and then there's also a roaming rogue on the roof itself that's just walking around. On this building right here, you have a grenade launcher that's facing into the plant. You have a machine gun that's facing this direction, and then you have another machine gun that's facing this direction. Hopefully you can see my mouse. Yeah, you can. And don't worry, guys, this isn't the only explanation. I'm going to have a video later today with like full edits, and you'll be able to understand completely what I'm talking about here. But this is just a quick explanation for the people that are here for the live stream. And then you have this other video, and then you have this other building down here with a heavy machine gun facing this direction and a heavy machine gun facing this direction. Then you have the one checkpoint with this little area over here. There's one machine gun facing this direction. Actually, this might be a GMG. I'm actually forgetting off the top of my head here. But there is a mounted gun here facing south, and another gun here facing south as well. This is north, so really this is sort of what you would be looking at if you were looking at a map of Escape from Tarkov. It'd be like this. So yeah, north is left, south is right for this map. Okay, so bring this back up so that you guys can see it. All right. There's also at least 3, sometimes 4 squads of these guys that walk around. One of them is around, this is a helicopter pad that you have right here. One of them likes to hang around this pad. They just basically do circles around this pad. Sometimes they come up here a little bit when you start to shoot. There's one squad that goes through this building, and then they kind of do a rotation like this. And then there's another squad that does a little bit of a rotation like this. This squad over here is usually 4 guys, which is nuts. And then there's another squad over on this this west building down here that moves between this building and the checkpoint itself. And that's everything. So we got mounted gun up here, mounted guns up here, mounted guns up here, mounted guns here, squad here, squad here, squad here, and squad here. Those are the rogues. That's their whole setup. The only thing that I ever see change is sometimes, at least, I haven't noticed the squad over here sometimes. And then also sometimes I haven't noticed if there was a squad over here. That could potentially mean that sometimes they don't spawn there. I'm not actually sure. All I know is sometimes I don't notice them there. And then absolutely sometimes I don't notice guys on these guns over here. But every single time I have ever been to the water treatment plant, as a USEC, I'm able to do this because if you're a bear, you will get shot on sight. As a bear, you will get shot on sight. Also, if you've killed them or pissed them off recently, they will also shoot you on sight. There's a bit of reputation involved with them. If you've killed them recently or pissed them off, they will remember throughout the raids, and they'll shoot you on sight, even if you are a USEC. But every single time I've ever been by the water treatment plant, first, these guys on the roofs are always on their guns, period. They're always there, and they're always ready to go, always on their guns. So if you're ever going to do anything involving the water treatment plant, you need to take the guys out on the guns, and that's what today's video is going to be talking about. It's going to be how can you take the rogues out? What's the best way to take them out? What loot they have, how they kind of operate, and stuff like that. Because you're definitely going to need stuff like that because there's actually tasks involved with this area. So I figured a video like that would be really good. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's going to be today's video. It's going to come out later today. And just in general, if you guys have any questions, we can talk rogues because I'm fairly confident I've figured them out. All right. Put that across. And just, the patch in general, too. If you guys want to talk about that, we can talk pretty much about whatever you want. I'd like to keep it centralized to rogues because that's what's today's topic. But anything that you got in general for the patch. Oh, actually, speaking of that, there was also another round of item drop rates increased. I'm not going to give specifics. I'm just going to say a lot of the items their drop rates have been increased, including gas analyzers. There were actually a couple buffs for gas analyzers yesterday. There were like over 1,000 different changes yesterday in terms of loot chance, like loot drops and chances to have items drop as loose loot and stuff like that in general. So today should be pretty interesting in terms of being able to find stuff that you might not have been able to find all weekend or since Sunday. Where is yesterday's stream? Is it on your channel? Nice. Oh, actually, I forgot. Not that I really forgot. I was just super busy yesterday. I'll put the VOD up. I'm gonna put both of these VODs up on the second channel later. I gotta start doing more stuff on the second channel because I gotta get hours up on the second channel. So I might do a couple live streams over there later because there's actually a few games that aren't Escape from Tarkov that are going to be coming out over they're not necessarily coming out, but just stuff that I can cover over the next couple weeks, including Star Citizen. So the second channel is going to get pretty active here in like a week or so, in like 10 days ish, because I'm working on figuring out everything there is to figure out about 12.12, and then once I feel like I have everything, that's probably when we'll do that stuff. Did anyone notice new sniper spots in woods, as in areas where you get sniped if you go? Not that I've heard. I don't think I've even been to woods once. I'm a little confused. Why didn't BSG add the ready system yet? The inertia complements it perfectly. The ready system? You mean like the low ready and the high ready? I'm not sure what you mean by the ready system. Did you hear about the bug of the trader rep with Chemical Part 4? Yes, I talked about that yesterday, and thank you for reminding me again today. While we're on that subject, actually, wait, no. Chemical Part 4 has been fixed. That's why I didn't bring it up. It's been fixed. At least it should have been fixed. They said it's fixed. So those of you guys that have heard about Chemical Part 4, it should be fixed. It should be good to go. If you didn't hear about the Chemical Part 4 bug, it was bugged, and it was a very serious bug. But they said it's fixed. So we'll see if it actually is today, I guess, because it should have been fixed this morning. Guys, if you're going to be asking questions, do @NiceGuyTarkov so it makes it easier for me to just see who's asking what and where you're at. Do rogues only ever have one weapon? From what I can tell, yes. They have like level 4 and 5 armor, and they tend to have very good weapons and just gear in general too. But I think they only have the one weapon. Now, if they're a mounted rogue, they're on the mounted gun. But then when they get off, like if you hit them but don't kill them, they'll get off and run around. Also, if you are close to them and they want to kill you, but you're at a rough angle for them, they will actually get off the gun and try to engage you with their primary weapon as well. Will you do a hardcore run this wipe? I'm not a hardcore guy. I never really do that stuff. Hell, I was like level 30 last wipe. I barely, got the traders. Actually, I didn't get the traders unlocked last wipe. I'm an information guy. If there's something that I need to figure out or something that I really want to figure out in order to make a content on it for the channel in the higher levels, then I'll go and do it. But generally speaking, I can get all the content and all the information that I need to get to you guys without actually being a super high level, which, honest to God, is how I prefer it, because I do not. The worst possible thing that could happen to me right now is to get burnt out on Escape from Tarkov before the fucking thing even launches, Because this is my favorite game. This is obviously what I'm covering on the channel, and this is everything I want to cover on the channel. And the game's not even out yet, and there's still, a couple years to go at least. So I really don't want to get burnt out. I'm playing as much as I want to play, and that's it. I'm not going over that. If I need to get information, if I need to get some content, then I'll play. But otherwise, I'm playing as little as possible just to make sure I don't get burnt out, because that does happen to me. I'm someone that gets burnt out for stuff, even if I love it. Rogues also have pistols, by the way. Okay, I haven't seen. Yeah, so I have never actually looted one. When it comes to the loot side of things, I got the wiki. I've killed them on the ground and I've killed them on the roof, but I've always been offline. I've always been solo. So whenever I kill the ones on the ground, I have to kill all the ones on the roof, and then eventually I have to try and work my way to figure out where the other ones on the ground. It's insanely difficult. This video is not going to say it's easy. It's just going to be all of the information that you would need to kill them. If you have a group of 5 with good ammo, and you have at least maybe two people with good 200 to 300 meter range weapons, like those marksman rifles or something, like some kind of 7.62, 308, something like that, you're going to be able to take the mounted guns out, and then hopefully you won't have anyone die when you go to take the guys out in the ground. But we're gonna get to that in today's video. What level am I? I'm like level 4, dude. I'm like level 4 or 5. I've barely done any online raids. I'm all an information guy. I've probably played 20 hours plus, and it's all offline figuring out everything there is to figure out with interchange, which there is not interchange, lighthouse. There is another video for lighthouse coming out, and it's generally just like loot and good spots and stuff like that. Also, the scav extracts. I literally couldn't get into a scav extract that day when I did the first day there. I could not even get into a scav raid. It was like 15 20 minute timers. I'm just like, fuck this. I actually quit a couple of them because I thought it was broken, and I'm just like, all right, I gave up after like 3 tries with those. But I do have the scav extracts, and there's actually pretty good maps for the scav extracts. So that's gonna be coming later, as well as like the loot and stuff. I can't find any way to get on the roofs. You cannot get on the roofs for whatever reason. The roofs would be cool, but you just can't get on the roofs. I'm not sure why. Ramaras. Can we get a URL of that map of Lighthouse? No, because it's not a URL. It's actually something, a work in progress that someone sent me from the Discord. Sorry, Smitty. There's a bunch of good maps out there, though. Once the map is done, I'll post it everywhere I can, though. So stay tuned for that. I can't find any way to get... Yeah, nope. You can't get on the roofs. Any idea how long the rogues will stay angry at you, or is it just kind of random? I have no definite answer for that. It's absolutely at least 1 raid. I know that for a fact. It might be 2. It might be 3. There's no solid way for me to do that because it takes so long to get that information, and you can't always be certain what it is. All I know is that if you are a scav or a USEC and you've pissed them off or shot at them or killed them in some way, 1 raid, they will still be mad at you the next raid. I know that for a fact. And it might be 2 raids, it might be 3. I just don't know. It's too difficult to test that stuff and get proper, real answers to that stuff. I'm getting a ton of questions, guys, so I got to skip ahead a little bit. Make sure, if I haven't answered your question, ask it again. Any idea why my scav is always wearing a yellow raincoat now? Not one time he has had anything else on. That's strange. Get some screenshots and send that in on Reddit or something. Weird. Are the rogues the hardest to kill? They're not necessarily the hardest to kill. They do have extra health. They have, like, bodyguard or boss health. I don't know what the equivalent would be, but they do have extra health for sure. And they have very good armor, so they're difficult to kill. Unless you know how to do it, and I've figured out how to do it. So that's why that video is coming out later today. How has the flea market changed the ruble income? I haven't played the patch yet. I've been out of town. Very few people have the flea market right now. You would need to be like a content creator or somebody that took time off in order to just really play a ton of the game. Generally speaking, you can get to level 15. If you like really know your stuff, you'll get there in, I don't know, if the servers are cooperating with you, you can get there in, you know, I'd say maybe a level. I'd say like if you're really flying, maybe like a level an hour, like 20 hours. It'd be like 20 hours, I would say, approximately, and you'll get the flea market. If you're like absolutely insane, we're talking like 10, 15. But generally speaking, I think it's probably gonna take you about 20 hours of in-game time. For most people to get to that flea market, and a lot of people have not done that yet. And not only that, but they definitely don't have significant access to that high level gear that is no longer able to be posted in the flea market, so we wouldn't know about that either. Have you had any issues with low FPS performance on Lighthouse compared to other maps? Yeah, there's some issues. I think what happened there is I think they had a lot of problems with the geometry of the rocks. The rocks have weird textures on them, and there sure is a shit ton of the rocks up on that map. So I feel like they had issues with that, and maybe it's causing problems for some PCs. I mean, it definitely is causing problems for some PCs out there. But generally speaking, for a PC that wouldn't have problems before, it might be causing problems even now with the rocks and what's going on with those. There's definitely something going on with that. My scav has also had the same yellow jacket on each time. That's weird. Yeah, guys, send screenshots in. That's weird. Any experience with Voip yet? Seems people have been using it correctly, and I love it. There is a vast majority of people are using it very interestingly, and they're using it very well. There are a couple, bad eggs, but that's what the report system's for. And I have had awesome experiences. There's only been one time where I've used Voip to try and be friendly with someone, and they didn't want to be friendly. We ended up getting in a fight, and neither of us killed each other. We ended up kind of like just breaking off. I think it's because I got a good shot on one of the guys, and he's just like, oh shit, let's get out of here. But that was pretty much the only thing. I've made friends with multiple groups of PMCs as a scav to go and use the scav exit. I haven't gotten anything good. Actually, I have a screenshot handy, I think, with one of those. Where's that? Yeah, the last one I had was an empty VPO 10-round mag, super performance slugs, a empty P90 mag, and a Claymore compensator. That's what I got as my my gift for using the Scav extract on Lighthouse there. I saw fucking one peg over here getting a yellow key card and shit. I'm like, oh, I gotta go do that. So I ended up getting a couple squads to go and try and do that. I even got a 4-man group as a solo Scav. I got a 4-man group of PMCs and be like, hey, guys, the Scav extract is right here. You're going to get something from Prapper if we do it. You're going to get a gift. And I may or may not said that they're going to get a key card, and they believe me. But, hey, we did it, and we got in there. So say what you got to say. And Jesse Kazam has been doing. I've been having Jesse, and I've been having Clean on the second monitor there as much as I can, checking out what they're doing, because they play a very similar game to me. And they've been having some awesome times as well, making some friends, having some interesting interactions and stuff like that. Voip is just awesome. It's awesome. Do rogues have impact grenades? Yes, they do. They actually beamed someone. I saw someone got beamed with one on Jesse's stream yesterday. Do you think Voip is more fun or less fun in regions with many languages? I wouldn't know. I'm in America. We always speak American here. American. Yes, I know it's in English. Only seeing gas analyzers on reserve tech room. Yeah, gas analyzers did get a bit of a buff. They are spawning on reserve, shoreline, customs, woods, and factory right now. So RIP Lighthouse and RIP Interchange, and labs for that matter. But they are still able to spawn in loot-generated containers. So I'm talking like bags, I'm talking boxes, I'm talking filing cabinets, stuff like that. You can still find them, specifically when it talks about a map that's talking about loose loot. So if you are looking for a gas analyzer and you're not running shoreline reserve, actually, you know what? I've heard a lot of people say reserve, a lot. So I would say maybe stick with reserve. If you're looking for a gas analyzer, because there's a shit ton of those filing cabinets, which you tend to find some in, and then also the loose loot wise in the night buildings, white and black night. People are saying it seems like every report I've been getting is like, no, I found them in white night, I found them in black night, stuff like that. So yeah, Tarkov is broken in what ways? Well, you may or may not be correct depending on what you mean there. Both a friend and I have noticed that our scavs always have the same clothes and the same fit. You know what? Shit, now that you say that, I kind of have noticed the same sneakers on my Scav. I'm going to take a note of that. Actually, now that you guys are saying that, yeah, you might be right. I think because I remember thinking that yesterday. I'm like, aren't these the same sneakers I had last time? Scavs. Same clothes, question mark. Yeah, there might be something going on with that. Yeah, you might be right with that one. Do rogues have? Yes, they use impact grenades. Would you consider lying on Voip to be using it as intended? Of course. Is that a real question? Of course. You can say whatever the fuck you want to survive. Yeah. Any idea about Lighthouse being laggy and unstable? Absolutely. Yeah, there's lots of people having trouble like that. For me, generally, when I load in, I'll take a couple steps, and then it just drops to shit for about 5 to 10 seconds, and then it's okay from that point. That's for me. That's probably, I don't know. There's something, obviously something's loading in. The scavs are loading in, the loot's loading in, or something. I'm not sure what's going on with that. That's generally what happens for me. Maybe it's possible your scav is now the same person, just like your PMC. I doubt it. I very much doubt it, Eamon. But, no, there's no but to that. I very much doubt it. I think it would be a bug with the way the system works right now. Very much doubt you would have the same scav. And we'll see if they get that fixed. When do you think they'll add offline with friends? They're working on it. They need a very special separate server infrastructure for it for security reasons. So we'll see when they can get that finished up. Again, guys, if you're asking questions, make sure you do @NiceGuyTarkov. @NiceGuyTarkov. So I can see the orange. Otherwise, I'm going to have difficulty reading and getting into chat and figuring out where the questions are and stuff. And if you guys are just joining us, today we did a bit of a talk, so you can rewind. You can rewind in these streams, and we did a bit of a talk explaining what's going on with the rogues. I'm going to have a full video with everything rogues later today. But that's what we brought up today. I figured out like where they spawn, how they spawn, what gear they spawn with, how they act. I'm pretty sure they were nerfed because they are absolutely insane. But yeah, that's what's going on today. I just joined. What's your opinion on Voip? I feel like it's great, but too many friendlies. There, you know what? I think you might have a point there. I was kind of thinking the same thing yesterday. I won't go down that route. Just it's gonna go bad. It's gonna have to go bad at some point, right? Like there's gonna need to there really is way too many people that are being friendly, right? I've probably had. What have I done? I've probably had. I mean, if we include just passing by a random person and just saying, "How you doing, man?" Like something like that, and then just not fighting that person. I've probably had 5 or 6 of those interactions. And then I've had like 4 really solid, like we worked together and we got out of the raid together situations. You might be onto something with that. That might actually be an issue. There might actually be too many friendly people in a lot of situations. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not gonna lie. That actually might be a thing. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. What do you think about the inability to loot rogues on the roof? Weird. Very weird. I don't know why. Maybe they thought because there's just enough people on the ground. I mean, at any given moment, there could be between, 8 and 12 of them on the ground, and they do have very good loot. They were also doing something with the raiders on labs, too, so maybe it's a early wipe kind of a thing. I don't know, but it's very, very strange that they wouldn't allow us to go on the roof, especially where it looks so cool up there, so I don't know. Is there a short double-barrel gun like short Mosin? I am not sure. I haven't noticed one yet. I don't think I've noticed one yet, but I wasn't exactly looking for it. I was falsely banned while it's... Okay, listen, man. Anything to do with falsely banned, I have no idea how to help you. I'm sorry it happened. I really just... I have no avenue to help you. Best of luck. You think inertia feels a bit too sluggish? Nope, I think it's just about right. I've gotten very used to it already. But I'm not the kind of person that you would ask about that. I feel like if you ask a W keyer, they're going to not like it. And if you ask somebody like me, they're going to like it. And that's pretty much the two sides of the community. Like, that's just the take. Honest to God, I like it. Like, it's really not a problem. It really isn't. But I'm used to playing games that feel like that. Do you think one of the upcoming Lighthouse bosses will be a rogue boss? They could be. They could all be rogues. Could be. Why is Sniper Scav on Custom so cracked? His range is almost the entire map. They did increase the difficulty and range on Scav snipers. They might have nerfed them a little bit recently, like as in like the last 18 hours or 12 hours, something like that. But yeah, they did do that. They made them more difficult. Has BSG said anything about implementing FSR? It's basically DLSS for AMD. Yeah, that should be coming. They did say that should be coming. I don't know what's going on with DLSS though. Why is there so much loot on Lighthouse? Because it's a what's the right word for this? New map? No, it's not. That's not. I was joking. But it's it was a very important area because of the USEC base and the rogues. So it's a very important area for the map, and lore wise, it's a very important area. That was like the USEC as a company, United Security. That was like their territory. Like they owned those. That's why you see the USEC flags, and that's why you see the the rogues there and stuff like that. Like that was a very significant area. It is a very significant area lore wise. So that's why there's so much good stuff there. That was like their home base, and they've got good stuff. I found a grenade yesterday and I threw it, and it was green gas. It's green smoke, I would assume. What the gosh kind of grenade is that? Yeah, it's definitely not gas. It's smoke. What level and or vendor to purchase the Scar? Level 2 Peacekeeper has the L. I'm not sure where the H is yet. When do you think they'll add offline with friends? Again, they're working on it. I don't have a specific date, but they do need a specific certain kind of secure separate server infrastructure because of security reasons. They were worried about that. So it's soon TM. People being friendly in Tarkov will sort itself out with time. Only this nice because it's new. It could be. It very well could be. We'll see. But it's definitely a thing. Like there are a lot of nice people. Have you noticed Scav gear being worse than last wipe? My karma is much higher than it was last wipe as well. Karma being higher than last wipe would just mean like you're surviving raids and stuff, and you're killing PMCs as a scav. That's like that's how you increase your karma. But the scav gear being worse. I mean, I've only done a handful. Generally speaking, maybe they might have touched on it because they've done so much with stuff like that. They've done in terms of like the early game and like how people get that good gear and stuff like that. Maybe you might be onto something a little bit, but generally speaking, I haven't really noticed it. Like I still got a why am I blanking on it? SV98. I still got like really good shotguns with really good rounds. I've even had some level 3 armor, stuff like that. Like it's generally speaking, that's I think it's normal scav gear. I was playing duos on Lighthouse and my friend died to a player scav in the first 2 minutes. Glitch or our player scav spawning right off the bat now? How would you know it was a player scav? Also, I have had some early spawns as player scavs. Depends on what you... I mean, well, you said first 2 minutes there. Yeah, how would you know it's a player scav? Also, I'm not certain if they are spawning right off the bat, but I have had some early spawns as scavs, so I mean, maybe it's possible. It could just be cracked. There's a few scavs that have been cracked. Thanks for the vids. Because of you and my friends, I have hit 15 in 12 hours. Holy shit. Good job, man. Also, a friend of mine killed one of the rogues, and it called it a boss kill. Is that an error? No, they're considered bosses. With the more unique enemies, like, for instance, the cultists. Cultists are considered bosses. That's when it comes to, like, those unique NPCs. So I would imagine when they add the GRU, those will be bosses, too. It's just it's a very wide definition of the word, basically. Any changes to how dynamic loot works in this patch? They've changed a bunch of stuff up, and they're tuning it. They're making some buffs to like loot drops and stuff. They're tuning it quite a bit, actually. I've seen 3 massive changes in like the last 18 hours. I'm just curious, what is your favorite map? Right now, it's Lighthouse. Hands down, right now it's Lighthouse. And on top of it just being new, I just genuinely like it. But then right after that, it would probably be... I really like Interchange. It's a toss-up between Interchange and Customs after that, but I do really like Lighthouse. Did they nerf Rogues aim? I do think they did. Because I do think they did. And if you guys check my Twitter, you'll know I had a very rough time with Rogues. They were actually broken. Like that was not right. That was not right what they were able to do with those machine guns. I do think they nerfed them. I did notice them get pretty. I did notice them not even just easier. I just noticed them missing. They wouldn't miss at one point. They just done their first shot would hit you in the head. Period. Like, and with a heavy machine gun. So they just didn't miss, and now they're starting to miss quite a bit. So. Not quite a bit. That's the wrong word. That's definitely the wrong word because they're still stupid accurate and they can see you. Their eyesight and their ability to see you is just stupid as well. But they're missing. So yeah. Use the rangefinder and front mounted MG shot me over 600 meters. If they had a good line of sight, that's nutty. Generally speaking, I think it's more around. I don't know. What can I do? Just using, off of memory here. If that's like, so a lot of my shots were about 250 meters. Where the fuck were you for them to get a 600 meter shot on you? You must have been up in the rocks or on the road. That's nutty. But they were shooting at me. Actually, you know what? You're right. Yeah, there was a moment the other day, literally yesterday. I just say the other day way too much. There was a moment yesterday when I was in one of the wooden houses over near the path to Shoreline, and they absolutely were shooting at me with the guns. So yeah, I could see that. But they have nerfed them, so maybe they fix that. I don't know, but that's, yeah, they do get nutty like that. Don't fuck with them. Don't fuck with those guys. Game stutters sound crazy to game lag on extract as well as tabbing out of inventory and raid. Yep. Welcome to patch day or patch week. Pretty sure everybody's having that, so we'll see if how quickly they can get that solved. Not, unless it's crashing the game, that's not considered like a high priority thing, but it is annoying and they're gonna fix it, so we'll just see what happens. Game stutters and stuff, that sounds like a skill issue. I'm just kidding. It's probably like, connection and stuff. There's a lot of problems with people in general for that stuff, so in time, we'll see. If it doesn't work for you, I feel bad, but yeah, it happens to a lot of people. Voip also that. Anonymity breeds hostility. Yeah. Voip definitely, if anything, Nicholas, Voip is. We were just talking about that. There's actually a ton of friendly people. So I don't know. Voip. Oh, Voip helps in terms of. Yes, actually, I see what you mean. That was the opposite of where I was going. Yes, yeah, I see what you mean with that. Voip helps with not being anonymous, and then so it's less hostility. Okay, I see where you took that. Yeah. That seems like that's what's going on. Just about to catch the podcast from Friday after this. Anything we know now to dismiss or emphasize from it? There's quite a lot. Honestly, there really isn't any video from last week that is really that's like I don't even know. I wouldn't say it's not worth watching it because we had a good time on that podcast and we had a lot of laughs and stuff. But there's a lot of new stuff. Basically, they surprised us with quite a lot of stuff in general this patch, and we didn't know anything about it. Obviously, we didn't talk about it during that podcast. So there's a lot that changed, and there's a lot of stuff that we thought was going to happen that didn't happen, and there's just stuff that we didn't know about in general. So yeah, it's a weird thing. Think they have the sniper scavs jacked up as a test for the lighthouse snipers? No, I think they just made them more difficult because they just wanted to. We'll see. Because they have report buttons. I'm not sure what's that pertaining to. You're gonna have to. I don't remember who says what, unless it's like a very special kind of question or something like that, Augustin. So you're gonna have to. I need context on that. How many new subs after face reveal? I literally don't look. I think the only time I'm going to realize is if I hit like a 90K. I think I'm at like 96, or sorry, not 90, 86 something. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that stuff. What I pay attention to is views. If people liked the video, that's really all I pay attention to. So I try to keep the videos similar if I get a lot of views on it. I hope they fix the double barrel scav spawn with no ammo. I think they already did. I think they did. If it's still happening, make sure you send in a report. Have you talked about the gas analyzers? I have several times. They should be spawning more often. Also, they should be spawning on customs, woods, factory, both night and day, shoreline, and reserve. But generally speaking, that's as loose loot. You still can't find them in like filing cabinets and containers and stuff like that. You can tell it's a player scab because you can see the report option when you die to them. That's how we knew. Okay. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. Again, guys, hit me with, if it's been a while, hit me with the full context here. There's a lot of questions and stuff. Is there a karma penalty for killing a rogue as a scav? No. We haven't seen one as of yet, but we think that might have been an oversight because why would they be friendly to you? Why are former USECs friendly to scavs? That doesn't make any sense. Why are they treating them the same as other USECs? So either they're going to I think what's going to happen is they're either going to stop treating scavs like that, or you will get a penalty for killing them. We'll see what ends up happening. I just think it's strange. Did you know that they tilted the portal jump to make it easier? Oh, so I didn't know where you were going with that, so I read it in my head. So the jump spot over the barbed wire near train bridge, is that what you're talking about? I didn't know they did that. Honestly, I haven't had a problem with that in years, but I mean, every once in a while, if I was getting shot at, or if I was worried about getting shot at, I might miss one jump, but I generally speaking, I haven't had a problem with that for like years. But cool that they did that. I one-tapped that custom sniper scav with an M9A3. Very nice, very nice. I was on the mountain behind village. Again, guys, context. I have no idea what you're talking about. Actually, maybe mountain behind village. Maybe that's the machine gun one. I was on the mountain behind village. Yeah, that would make sense to be 600 meters out if that's who was talking about that. But yeah, they're cracked. Voip works well. We engaged the group. They killed our guy. We agreed to a knife fight to even the score. Killed their guy. Both groups went away laughing. There's been so many interactions like that. It's awesome. It's so fucking cool. Yeah, it is cool. I'm not gonna say there's not an argument for too many nice people though. And as nice guy, I'm gonna say that. Like, I'm not gonna say there's not an argument for there being too many nice people that want to work and not want to fight and stuff like that. That might actually be a problem at some point. We'll see. If you get killed by a player scav, to show a report button next to their name, as with AI, it just says the name. Yep. That's a good point. That's a good point. If that was a question or if I got that wrong, that's a good point. I don't know what we were talking about to have that be a thing. For Voip, if someone abuses it, let's say says several slurs, report them immediately. If the person's harassing someone or if they're using slurs, report them. Absolutely report them. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Is it just me, or is it weird that AI wander around with the rogues in water treatment? Yeah, that is what I was talking about with the scavs. I find it strange that they treat the scavs like USEX. Like, I don't know why they don't treat scavs on site. Randomly just noticed this. Why are you not streaming on Twitch? Because I'm on YouTube. A lot of people are on YouTube. I'm trying to get the live streams. I only do these for an hour, so these we got about 15 minutes here before I'm gonna head off, guys. These morning streams where I just try to keep you guys informed. I don't know how many people are watching right now, but I guarantee it would be a fraction. It would be a minute fraction if I was on Twitch because of the whole platform switch kind of a thing. There's a lot of cool people on Twitch, but if I'm trying to get information to the people that follow me, I need to be on YouTube. So that's what I'm like. They should have fixed Chemical Part 4, Timo. If you are sitting there with Chemical Part 4 not turned in, again, they should have fixed it. We got word that it's fixed. They should have fixed it. Maybe jump on Reddit, see if more people have reported, like, yep, here's mine, I turned it in and it's fixed, that kind of stuff. I did get word that they fixed it, but again, I would still feel skeptical if I was you too. So, maybe check on Reddit and stuff like that. But me personally, I did get word that they fixed it. Footsteps seem way quieter now, and I really like it. Possibly. I'm not too sure about that, but possibly. Now there is a bug. And this has been happening for like fucking years too. But when you first get into a raid and you have a headset on, there is potential for it to not be working correctly, where you would need to either take the headset off and put it back on, or reload your gun, or change your weapon, and then it'll turn into the real sound. There's some stuff that happens along with that. So when you get into a raid, try to just like switch your weapons and just kind of mess around with your gear, and you'll see what I'm talking about. If there are too many people, BSG will just add quests to kill other PMCs. Yes, exactly. Which there is a bunch of stuff that's coming up like with stuff like that. So yeah, that's true. Is there any solid information on pen and damage drop off over distance with barrel length? No, because we don't have easy access to that better ammo or attachments for the weapons themselves. That information is not going to come out probably for another month, I would imagine, because the people that get there quick probably aren't too worried about it. They're probably, going off doing their Chad stuff and trying to figure out inertia. And then for other people, it's going to take them a long time to get out there and just get that ammo and get those attachments and stuff. So it's probably going to be a while until we see that information. But I will say, long distance shooting is very, very weird right now. It is very weird, at least with the ammo that we have access to. I did get a bunch of M855A1 for being, as well as a SCAR and like a weapons case and a couple things for being an ETS tester. And that's just that's not just for being an ETS tester, by the way, guys, too. If you've heard of people that got in there, I think you might have had to have been an active ETS tester, because I have seen some people that I know is on the ETS and they didn't get the package. So either that's a mistake, or I think what they did is if you didn't actually test it, then you didn't get it. There might be something that happened there. If you are angry about that, like if you are an ETS tester as well, you have to actually go and test. You actually have to spend time in the server and actually test and actually send bug reports and stuff like that. And I did a bunch of that. So yeah. You mentioned GRU earlier. What are they? Those are Russian Special Forces. So this is going to be a long answer here, actually. Give me 1 second, because that's actually going to be a super long answer. So yeah, that's the ballistic stuff. I wanted to ask how to report them if they abuse VoIP. I'm blanking. Honestly, I'm blanking. That's a good question. I'm blanking on it off the top of my head. I think you hit a key. I think you do hit a key, and then whoever is closest to you that's not in your party, I think it reports them. I think that's how it works. Don't quote me on that. I think that's how it works. Check your settings and see if there's a keybind for the report thing. It's a good fucking question. I gotta look into that. That's a good question, and I forgot how to do that. Maybe lore-wise, the rogues have partially gone native, and there's a sort of non-aggression pact with local scavs so they can survive. Interesting. That's a good way of taking it. But then why would a USEC, which they were actually part of, lore-wise, this would have been weeks ago, and a USEC shows up, why, if they just get too close to them, would they shoot the USECs? If that's how they treat people that they were working with just weeks ago, why would they do the same thing to local populace when things are going crazy like that? Good possibility with your theory there, but still, I think it's still a little weird. Okay, so now GRU. If you are a bear right now and you are really annoyed that you can't really go around the water treatment plant without getting shellacked by a heavy machine gun or a grenade or just a completely cracked rogue operator there, don't get too angry, because on Streets of Tarkov, there are going to be these guys called GRU. GRU, I forget what I believe it's an abbreviation or something for a longer word, but generally speaking, it's Russian Special Forces. It's Russian military special forces. And not only are they going to be doing the exact opposite of what rogues do by shooting on sight USEC and then leaving bears alone until you annoy them or get too close or start to shoot at them, they're going to roam. The current plan for the GRU is they're going to be roaming around Streets of Tarkov. They're going to be moving around Streets of Tarkov. So you're minding your own business as a USEC, and there might be a bunch of very well-equipped and very powerful, like very, dangerous GRU that just walks up on you. That's going to be a thing on Streets of Tarkov. At least on Lighthouse, you know where they're going to be, and you can stay away from them, right? Maybe you just can't use those extracts or whatever. I still have yet to find a solid way of getting around them. Pretty much the only way that you can get around there is the mountains, if you get lucky by not getting shot at, or the coast. But then again, the coast is, you have to walk up a lot of that coast to get to like the armored train or to get to the northern extract. If you are a bear, that vehicle extract on Lighthouse does not exist to you, because you have to move in the open past the water treatment plant with all those guns and stuff, and there's just no fucking way you're ever getting out there. It's all in the open, and it's right there in front of those buildings. There's no fucking way you're ever getting out there unless all of the rogues are dead. So if you are a bear, that vehicle exit does not exist to you. The armored train you can get to if you go to the coast, and the north exit you can get to if you go to the coast. And that's it. That's it with GRU. So if you're annoyed with what's going on with the rogues, just wait until Streets comes out, because the GRU are going to be them, but they actually move around. So yeah. Contact's friend died 2 minutes into the raid to player scav, or when you die to a player scav, they mark the names. Oh yeah, right, yeah. So yeah, good point. Yeah, because you can report people. So yeah, good catch there. Thanks for all the info about Tarkov. It's really helped me understand certain aspects of the game and learn. That's what I'm here for. Thanks for the kind words. Appreciate you. Don't the USEC and bears have curse words in their voice lines? Or is it curse words that deviate from the voice lines that are an issue? Austin, are you asking about like what you can and can't say in VoIP? Because I'm sure you can imagine some words that they definitely don't say. And that person earlier said slurs. Slurs are not curse words. Slurs are a very different thing. So slurs, you know what slurs are. Everyone knows what slurs are. And if you say stuff like that, then you're going to get reported for it. You can swear and you can curse all you want, but slurs is what we're talking about here. I'd love any information on damage drop-off for starting ammo, since this is my third wipe and I never get past starter ammo ever. Honestly, people just aren't doing that right now. You're going to have to wait a little while. Also, the starter ammo is just... Honestly, Pasquale, I'm sorry to say this, but some of this stuff is just true. It's sort of just a waste of time. Where the stuff that I cover, people are waiting for like the bigger picture stuff. That's why I'm talking about just everything, rogues, everything to do with the new map, everything to do with the new guns and stuff like that. And everything, in order for that to be like worth my time, I would have needed to spend like 15 minutes on it, and I would have needed to do it like yesterday. And it's just not possible to do that. It takes hours and hours of work to get that information correctly. And then also on top of that, they might change it really soon after. So stuff like that's just not going to happen. If I were you, if you don't get past the starter ammo, I would just try your best to go into an offline raid, shoot at targets farther away, turn the scavs on easy and see if you can hit them, stuff like that. Maybe go try to fight the rogues with your starter ammo, because those are a pretty good equivalent to like what players' armor and weapons would look like. Sure, they're difficult as hell, but sorry if you guys can hear that. That's a garage door opening. So yeah, sorry. What the fuck was I saying? But that's pretty much the best that you can do. Just go practice with it is all I can say. Go practice with it, because I doubt that a video like that would be coming out. So are the GRU the guys at the end of the Tarkov live action series? No, that's the Black Division. That's the Black Division, who also might be coming to the game, but they're very secretive about that. The thing with Black Division is they're sort of like the cultists, where BSG wanted to keep them secret, and but we saw like a lot of work in progress stuff, and we knew a lot about the cultists just because they talked about them, and they learned their lesson with that because we knew the cultists were coming, and they don't want us to know if the Black Division is coming into the game, which I think they are in some way, shape, or form. If they are, it's going to be a complete surprise. It's going to be a complete and utter surprise to us that the Black Division they're just going to show up and someone's going to die and they'll be like, who the fuck was that? Like, so it'll be really cool. But yeah, that's not the GRU. The GRU were probably more similar to like the guys that were holding that base for the last episode there. Those were Russian regulars. That was the Russian military, which the GRU are a part of, but they're just special forces, so they won't be like holding. I don't know. Maybe they'll have a checkpoint because actually the rogues have checkpoints and stuff, but GRUs are gonna be like walking around. They're gonna be like specifically like hunting USECs. So, do rogues go on and offline raids? Yeah, but they're considered bosses. You need to turn bosses on. Also, if you turn them on easy, I've noticed that it's actually the opposite. If you turn them on easy mode, they're actually more difficult. They're actually, even before the nerf, they were, or even after the nerf too, that they probably had with accuracy and whatnot. If you turn them on easy, it's actually more difficult. So keep them online. Do the online difficulty, online amount, and you'll see what's up with them. I think Tarkov brings a more mature audience. Generally speaking, it does. There's a lot of babies out there, but generally speaking, it does. Recommendations for gas analyzers, please. Where did you find them? I haven't found any myself yet, but you want to be looking on Customs, Factory, both night and day. You want to be looking on Woods. You want to be looking on Shoreline, and you want to be looking on Reserve. Also, any filing cabinets, which is why I'm saying Reserve, because there's a ton of filing cabinets, and you can just find them as loose loot on Reserve. So maybe check out Reserve. But those maps specifically that I named are for the loose loot, and filing cabinets and bags and stuff also has a chance. All right, we're doing it. Last couple questions here, guys. Last couple questions. I don't know what happened to my playlist because I remember this being my outro song. If I had just played this playlist from Nikita, this would be the outro song. Except it's always the second to last song these last couple times, so I don't know what's going on with that. I gotta move that around. Do you think Rogues and GRU will play into the PMC karma? Good question. I don't know. I would think that they do, based off of how rogues treat USEC, but we'll have to wait and see. So you know how they're like friendly to you. I would think they do, and they were previously USEC, but it's a very weird thing, right? Because they still shoot you, they still are going to be hostile to you. So I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. PMC Karma's a while out. PMC Karma is probably not coming this wipe. We're probably going to see PMC Karma next wipe. And also, while we're on the subject too, I'm not going to be making no clown face bets or nothing, but I'm fairly certain that our next wipe is going to be like quarter three next year, and we'll see that first iteration of Streets. That's what I'm calling it right now. So I think we're going to see the first iteration of Streets, maybe some significant features on top of that as well, and like Q3. So that's going to be like July, August, sometime next year, and then that'll be our next wipe. But they're treating information very differently now. There's a lot of surprises this patch, so we'll see what other surprises pop up. Lore-wise, aren't Raiders also partially former USEC? No, they're not partially. They are former USEC. If yes, that's precedent for rogues being hostile to USECs. Lore-wise, aren't Raiders also partially former USEC? If yes, that's precedent for rogues being hostile to USEC. That's why... I don't know if you mean something differently, but that's... It would be precedent for them to not be hostile to USECs because they... Lore-wise, like this is over the span of a couple weeks. So a couple weeks ago, these guys were work buddies. Like they worked together. So that's why they don't shoot them on site. So I don't know if you messed up your explanation there, but that's actually what it's supposed to be. So they don't shoot USECs on site because as of a week ago or whatever, they were working together. They were part of the same group. That's like the lore behind that. Cheers for the info, dude. Love your content. Thank you for the kind words, Kim. Are they gonna add the bosses for Lighthouse this wipe? Yes, they absolutely are. In fact, it should be just like a couple months. You know, we'll get over the holidays and then we'll get a couple sprints in, and we'll probably see the that next patch eventually with or pretty soon after that with the bosses, and because as per Nikita, they're just waiting on animations. There's a bunch of animation work they're waiting on for the bosses and the trader. When will the other map repopulate? When will the other maps repopulate? Meaning the everlasting matching. Okay, repopulate is not the right word. It's the opposite. So if you are matching a long time, it's actually because you're waiting to get into an open raid. The servers are overpopulated right now. So long matching time is not you trying to find people at times like this. It's you trying to get into an open server. You're waiting for a server spot to open up, and then you go into it. So if this was 2 months ago, and we had the same player numbers because people were just done with that patch, then matching time would be a long time because you were literally waiting to find people, possibly, depending on what server or what part of the world you're in. But matching time right now is because they're actually overpopulated. You have to wait for that server spot to open up. So that's what's going on. And honestly, that could, unless they end up adding servers, that could happen. That could go for probably up until and throughout next weekend. Next weekend, we're going to see another spike for sure. But that could go up until and throughout even, next couple weeks even. Depends on how much people like this patch. Which they seem to be liking it. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for today. If you got some last questions here, if there's something that catches my eye, I might grab something. But otherwise, that's everything for today. I'm going to get that Rogue video up today. If you guys didn't catch that, if you're watching the stream right now, you're going to be able to catch... you're going to be able to rewind. You can catch that conversation that we had earlier. Otherwise, just wait for the video. I'm going to have a short and sweet everything Rogues video going up later today. I've pretty much figured out everything there is to figure out with them. So if you're interested in that, again, going up later today. If you want to check out the rest of this VoD, generally speaking, I'm going to have the rest of the stream. The VoD is going to be up on the second channel. Also, I forgot to put yesterday's VoD up on the second channel too. So all that's going on the second channel. Find the link to that in the description. That one's just Nice Guy. It's not Nice Guy Tarkov. It's just Nice Guy. So all the VoDs are going to be up there. Otherwise, again, Rogue video later today. And if you're not on the Discord, join the Discord. I post little updates and stuff on there all the time. Also, follow me on Twitter. I post little updates and little clips and stuff up there all the time. Have a good one. Thanks, Kyler. As a Scav, you can just walk around the rogue camp, but the only building I've been shot... Yeah, if you actually go in a building, or if you don't listen to their commands, they're going to shoot you. So don't go in the buildings if they see you, and listen to their commands. So if they do like a hand signal or whatever, make sure you listen to that. You'll see it in today's video. So again, guys, thank you very much for hanging out today. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have fun if you're playing the patch today or later today, whatever. Hope you guys have a fun time with it. Thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day. See ya.